I apologize. I just realized that my mic was off this entire time. So basically, I was talking this entire time and you didn't hear nothing. Sorry about that. Well, if you just joined the stream, just know that just now I was trying to connect my Rumble, it failed. Okay, we'll sort that out later. But basically, I just had to stream right away. I don't have anything planned for today. I just plan to talk about life and then share it as a video later on. Because I don't have a life anyway, so it's like I'm just gonna post whatever comes to whatever comes to mind. So my idea is that, or my plan of action is that I'm gonna try to stream every day as much as possible. Um, Fit it whenever, clip my videos, put it out there, just connect with people, just see where I'm going. Hopefully, it would lead me to collaborations. Hopefully, it would lead me to content ideas because I do have content. I have ideas. I just haven't edited them yet because of my work schedule currently. So even now, today, I literally just woke up like about 3 hours ago, took a shower, and went straight to my new work to sign my contract, which is ironically only for 1 month, which was scary. On a side tangent, you know, I've noticed like signing contracts can be a little bit scary. What do I mean by that? Is that when you're not someone who's like at depth with contracts and knowing the terms and conditions, because like if you think about it, with every interaction, you essentially signing contracts. Because if you get a new software, it gives you terms and conditions, and then you have to sign that you know those terms and conditions. So then you're signing a contract. But normally we just skip through that and you're like, okay. Same with accounts. Like if I want to take a credit, I'm signing a contract and this and that. So in general, contracts can be scary because you're essentially binding your name to whatever terms and conditions that that organization or entity is restraining you to. And it can be very like overwhelming, but only in the hindsight, not in the midst of it. Because in the midst of it, like, oh no, I need to get that credit approved. I need to get that call. I need to get that account. So it's like, okay, let's just get it done. You just sign, 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 without ever reading the terms and conditions. And that's essentially what happened today. But technically, the how do I say it? Mm, what do they call people who hire people? It's not the interviewer, but more like the HR person who was helping me go through the contract was telling me this is like a probation contract that is only 1 month because they want to see if they can work it out. So as I'm signing through this contract, I realized that he essentially told me like, okay, sorry about that. Someone just knocked on my door. Hold on. Hello? Oh, morning, morning. Good and you. Yeah, my. Can I ask, is Jesus like that hard or you? Right? It's cool. No, it's fine. I'm not saying change it. I was just asking if it's possible. No, it's just that in the morning it's not as hot. I have to shower in the afternoon. That's all. Because remember, I work from home and work. But when I go to the office, I have to shower in the morning. That's why. But it's anyway, winter's almost over. So. You know what? It's fun, but it's just, you know, Now they sing the song. But I hope you notice I don't challenge because you know lights are off. Yeah, it's also okay. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Hey yo, chat. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Back. I that was a conversation with my rent or landlord. Okay, so he just essentially told me like times are tough. Like yo, like it's because technically right at this place I am at right now, it's only me and this other lady in the opposite building. So it's like it's hard on him because like it's because of water costs and rent costs, and then like he could only keep me, so it might just be like okay, it would be easier for him to like close it down. So I don't know if he was threatening me or scaring me, saying, "Hey, yo, I might just close up shop." Because I'm not gonna lie, where I'm at right now, it's not that it's a great place, it's not that it's a good place. Like it's just more comfortable and easier because it's right near the central of town, so everything's nearby in terms of taxis, my work. It's a lot easier to commute and everything. And then relatively, the cost of living is a lot cheaper, as if, as if I were, oh, let me say, compared to if I were to relocate somewhere like closer to rural or closer to outskirts where it would be cheaper to live. But at the same time, then it would be more expensive to travel, then it would take more time to travel. So it's one of those like push and pulls of like in terms of convenience and how well you're situated away from. Okay, let me put up something. I look a little bit chopped. Well, I am definitely chopped, but I mean like I look more choppy with the noise when there's no lighting. Because when there's lighting, it just like cancels out a little bit of that bad echo. It just makes it look a lot cleaner and smoother. Which is ironic because as I'm looking at my OBS looks raw and hot. Or maybe it's because I'm not zoomed into the look, but then on my feed of the live, it looks like a much cleaner and smooth. But yeah, so essentially so he was like just scaring me like, hey yo, these other tenants are complaining about rent and everything and taking a lot of time. So it's like all of that. So I don't know if he was threatening me or scaring me that hey yo, this might close down anytime. Because I wanted the shower to be a little bit more hotter because it's a bit lukewarm. And when it's winter, that lukewarm feels a bit cold. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm happy. In fact, I'm blessed. I even spoke to my Uber driver today, and he was like, "Yo," because we were talking about. Oh, he asked me, "Am I from school? So do I attend school? Because I live near where I graduated, which is DUT. around there and like, okay, are you from school or are you going somewhere? And I'm like, no, 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 I'm actually working. So that was a compliment that I still look young. And then he was like, okay, so what's going on with work? And then it's just sparked up a conversation of like, again, how times are rough and that it's, wait, I'm looking at it wrong. No, I'm always trying to look at my OBS and my OBS is on my camera. That's the problem. It's like, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Imperfections is perfection. Like, imperfections is perfections. I forgot to say. I forgot to say. I really did. I really did. But as I was saying, so I was talking to my Uber driver on my way to like the new workplace, and he was, and I was like, okay, it is tough, like applying for a job, but it's like it's tough for tough for everybody. I particularly like kind of low key gave up, not gave up in the sense as if I don't think I will get a job anymore in the electrical field, but it's more like when you apply multiple times, it's like every time you're starting to see a pattern of why you're not being employed or why you're not being called out. And then the more you get rejected, the more, or at least for me, I start believing that maybe I'm not worthy of a candidate. And that's what sparked up the whole conversation. He was like, no, you can't think like that. You have to push through. You have to want have you have to have a positive mindset so that things can come your way and that it's like the law of attraction, which in a in let me say that, which I subscribe to some degree because that's why I'm bringing this up now. Like I believe in working through and working hard because I'm in case of someone who's failed a lot and has tried treading the safe path and tried treading the risky path, but always been too pussy to go full throttle. And what I mean full throttle, I mean is like I'm the type to play like let's say with blackjack. Blackjack is the easiest way. If we set a cards and I've got a 10 and a 2, so that's an easy call for a hit so that I can try and get to 21. But if but my character is essentially be like, but I'm on a 12. What are the odds of me getting to a nice number? Because I could easily land a king and then I'm a bust. So I would chill on that. The only time I would call is probably if I start with a 5 and a 2 or a 7 and a 3 or something like that. That would make it easier. Or I land on a, let's say, a a a a, a, a queen and probably a 5, then I'm definitely gonna say call it. That's just me. It's like I've always been trading the safe way, but gambling in itself is the risk. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's I think the best way I can explain it. Like the whole act of gambling is the risk, but in terms of going the extra mile and putting it all on the line, I've never done that. So that's why I've always been like kind of failing because even with Packboy Max, he says like, hey, sometimes you just gotta put all your eggs in your basket. And I've done that to an extent, but not to the extent where like, you know what, cutting everything off. Because in the beginning, like let's say when not let's say like, back when I was in like 2016, when I just graduated, or 2015, just graduated high school, I had a job. I had a job in oh actually I got a bursary for mechatronics, and then I actually also had a job offer along the way when I was still in school. So everything was going fine. I had food paid for, I had a job paying me, and it was like, oh, hunky dory. Still came across roles where I had to choose one of the two, and I thought, you know what, I'm with it. So there's no reason for me to not handle both. Try juggling both for a long while. It was here and there, touch and go. Some subjects I was letting go because I thought I knew them easily. Ah, started failing, and I was like, okay, you know what? Choose a one. Eventually, I chose work. So essentially, I never put all my eggs into one basket. I just let choose for me. So that's what I mean. Where like I've been always heading safely and never fully going the extra mile. So that's what's led me to fail so much because I'm always trying to have that safety blanket because I have the idea that because of the way my family situation, I don't want to cause anything or do anything that will come back to hinder my family, make it more hectic than it already is of the whole situation. So back to the Uber. Yeah, you see how my mind works. My mind is like all over the place. But back to the uh, times are tough and Uber driver and the rental. My landlord was like, yo, I might have to close this down. So it's like, as I was speaking to my Uber driver, he's saying like how when I'm applying, most companies be like, okay, we want someone between this age. Because mind you, I just graduated, so I can only like apply for entry jobs and get and look for internships or vocation, which is something I have to look into, but I don't know where I can do what's it called? Vocational work. What is it called? But there's a word for it. But yeah, like vocational work. I just don't know what the proper term. The word is running away from my mind. But it's like volunteer. Yes, volunteer. Vocational volunteer. There we go. Volunteer work. When I don't get paid, but just to get the experience. So that could work, but remember back to the times are tough. Like you have to live. So because I'm not from my home city, so this is not my home, so I have to pay for rent and everything and cost of living. Because like I need a job to sustain me, and that already is a detriment to entry level jobs because most entry level jobs are like internships and learnerships. So when they clearly stipulate their weight, do you have a job? So if I apply with the CV that doesn't have a job, it's like already overruling me because even if you put a CV that shows you don't have experience but you have the qualifications, they will look for it. But then the problem comes in when they do a credit check, and when you do a credit check, unfortunately, everything is connected to it. So because you can't have credit without having employment. So once they see that you're employed already overruled, okay, no, you can't get this job because you're working class. So now you've lied and they've seen that okay, you do work. So there's no need for you to get this. And then the next obstacle would be like because it's an entry level job, they take certain how do I say it, bracket of age. So they only like so most entry or let me say learnership specifically, they like max out at 35, and then some even max out earlier, like 28, because of how youth is. The youth is considered up until 35. So which means that if you just graduated, right, especially if you fail like me, who had couple of years after matric not doing any qualification and then only graduated in 2023. So like I'm a lot older than people who have graduated in 2023. So now I'm competing with the younger folks, and then I'm competing with the older folks. So now they look, okay, wait, no, you very close to 35. So now they're seeing, okay, wait, you're the type of person they can invest or can grow a future with. So now they're seeing, okay, no, you're already employed, close to the age of 35. And it's like, okay, at that point, like you're not as good as the others. And then the next obstacle will come into qualifications experience, which is ironic because we're still talking about entry jobs. They, for instance, like with electrical job, with the electrical engineering, they'll be like, okay, do you know how to, depending on the profession, probably let's say like BI modeling. So they'll be like, okay, familiar with BI models? Are you familiar with the software? And it's like, okay, no. You understand? Oh, for instance, let's say workshops. They'll ask you, do you know PLC programming? Well, to some extent, but do I have experience in it? No. You understand? And they're like, okay, what languages can you program? And then there's the whole part where you can't apply for everything depending on what type of section your electrical engineer, because there's heavy and light. So heavy essentially dealing on the power generation and the power systems and power supplies and protection of electrical equipment. That's where you can round about. And then the light in terms of electrician, electronics, fixing, technician, and all that. So then you've got that, what you call it, a division that be like, okay, wait, you can apply for, you can't, sorry, them twangy, you can apply for electrician jobs. Like, oh, wait, but I'm an electrical engineer. I should be able to do all of that. Wow, can't. If you're heavy, then you're qualified for heavy. If you're light, you're qualified for light. So then that's the problem. And then the next hurdle will be trade certificates. It's like, okay, wait. So I went to university, studied, and I'm an electrical engineer, but then I still need trade certificates. So there are trade certificates like red seals. So red seals are like basically saying that you are a professional, how do I say, professional. Okay, the easiest term I can use now is wireman because it differs. So with transformers and heavy equipment, you get a three-phase trade certificate, three-phase red seal. So that means you officially allowed to work professionally on three-phase systems or three-phase machinery. So that means like generators, transformers, heavy workshop machinery that works on three-phase electricity. So you need the trade secret to be able to be in that realm. So even though I'm heavy electrical, I can't work in that realm because I don't have a trade. See now the obstacle. And same with light and with light current. I can be an electrical engineer, but I can't be an electrician. I can't be a wireman because then I need a red seal wireman certificate. So in other words, I can't work in the field of fixing houses and wiring because I don't have the trade. So in other words, I can only apply for entry jobs, and that's the problem. Because some entry jobs you don't have to have the experience, but you at least need those qualifications to be able to enter those realms of field. So now you see there's this the trade certificates that are holding you back. Then the next thing would be like, okay, let's say, yeah, you have a qualification. Yes, you have the trade certificate. Okay, you had a prime age, right? Then the next thing would be the most irritating of the all is location. This is what adds on to the job scarcity is the location. Unfortunately, this is a reasonable factor. I'm not saying good. This is a reasonable factor that that jobs are looking for, and it makes sense. But it's just irritating because it's like you can't prove that you're willing to relocate. They just have the discretion to choose. And at that point, they're choosing among candidates. So it's like, okay, yeah, if they see you've got all of this, and then they see a young kid who's just graduated, who doesn't have all of this, but he's right here in the same city, they would rather go with the candidate in the same city. So it's just like there's so many barriers that's like, okay, yeah, you think just finishing university and getting it done, it's okay. But wait, there's still more. So it's like, even though, let's say I'm in Durban, got the trade certificate, I've got I've got the qualification, I'm still young, I'm in the age bracket of what they consider youth. Then there's the issue of wait a minute. Do you have an engineering license? Think about that. Like some jobs require you to have an engineering license. Although this one is not as mandatory as everything else because engineering license barely helps you when you start, which I learned afterwards because you have to pay for that to be licensed engineer. And even then, you don't get to be a full professional engineer because you have to have more academic background to be a professional engineer or at least an engineering candidate. And that's the messed up part because the more you are qualified, the higher your salary is. And that's the final barrier is that the more qualified you are, because I have done honors, the more harder it is to pay you. And the harder it is to pay you, the harder it is for you to get a job. And it's like, it's those things that are like, just makes you wonder, am I probably not a good candidate? So it's like I'm trying to be positive. I'm not saying that it's not, that I'm not trying to say that, how do I say it? That I am thinking positive, but it's rather like sometimes it's not about being negative. It's like, okay, this is just my character flaws. Like sometimes I just see all the things that has to be fixed. So I tread through life knowing that if I want to do this, I gotta do this. That's probably why it took so long to stream because I'm like, for me to stream, I need to have a decent rig. I don't, still don't. But I eventually got to the point where like, you know what? Let me just go with the toaster that I have. Then for me to be able to stream, probably I have to have good internet. Back then I had worse internet, so there was no way I was gonna do anything with that internet because that internet was bad compared to what I have now. It was like low tier. It was uncapped, but it was not something. I'm definitely sure about that. So, but then again, back then, system probably the requirements of all of these things running was not high, but I was still assuming that I couldn't get in. And then was the idea that I don't have content. I still don't. And it's like I realized you gotta be positive, you gotta push through, which is what essentially my Uber driving was telling me. But it's hard for a person like me to be like, okay, yes, I can just be positive and ignore everything that may mean like, okay, yes, I can go for it, I can make it, I can be whatever I want. Because at the end of the day, you have to be aware of what you're limited with and what you need to fix. And it's that makes you start to realize that maybe this is not cut out for me. Because think about it, at this point, I'm like 28. So I still need to fix getting a red seal certificate. Mind you, that costs. So if I want to have more opportunities, I have to have for both sides of the electrical engineering. That means both light and heavy science. Then I have to get the idea of, and then I have to get vocational experience, or then I have to get some experience to at least have a more pool because since the entry level ones are considering me amongst new applicants every year, so that takes time. And at that point, it's like it makes me wonder, like, am I still gonna be electrical engineer? Because like I still like it. I always dreamed about like building stuff and doing tech stuff. Like, I would like to plan on that. It's just that as the years progress, that you're away from your field, the more you start losing the knowledge, and the more you start because I have a fragmented mind, whereas I'm interested in a lot of stuff, and there's just so much up in here that a lot of it gets thrown into the void of forget because of all the stuff I'm invested in on internet. And you can tell me, yes, I need to focus on the problem. Is, what do I need to focus on? That's the issue because I've tried doing that. When I do that, it's always like, ooh, but it's like whenever I get to that point, it sounds like I'm being negative, but I'm like, I'm just saying it's like I don't know. It's not hard, but it's I'm like the way it's maybe it's because I'm looking from an angle, not look it the other way. But it is challenging. Let me say that it's challenging. Not a challenging I'm afraid. Not a challenge I'm afraid of. Not a challenge I'm saying I will back down from. It's just something that have made me come into terms with how I need to move forward. So if you're to get anything from that ramble session that I was going on, then I'm trying to say is that it's hard. Not in a sense of you don't deserve it, you're not gonna make it, but that it's meant to be hard. And I wish this is something I knew years ago, because then I would probably power through or tank through most of the bullshit. Sorry for my language. Because that's the biggest, how do I say it? The biggest hack that every young inspiring artist or young aspiring professional that wants to do something or wants to attain something worth of value is that you have to have the ability to power through the nonsense, the bull shot. Because if you don't, a lot of the things will deter you. A lot of the things will make things hard. And not only that, you need people around you that will help you. Those are like the biggest things. And I wish I knew all of this, but Loki, I did, but I still went and be like, oh, Thomas Makolama won. Still went and had to experience life first. So it all in a nutshell is that it's never too late. Like I'm here right now. I'm planning on being great. I just realized I got 7 followers from where I do not know. I wish I could have better content for them so that they can be proud to be subscribed to me. When I mean 7 subscribe, I mean on Twitch. So it is all part of the journey. It is all part of the journey, and I'm glad I'm on it eventually. I just hope nothing else gets in your way, gets in our way, and that we all become fruitful. Wait, I said that wrong. I wanted to say fulfilled, then I wanted to say fruitful. And I said fruitful. I think that's the word of the day. For fruitful. I think I'm gonna say that. Word of the, the day. For fruit- I think that, yeah. Word. Oh my. Word of the day. It's a made up word, but it will mean something. For fruit. Essentially a mixture of fulfill. Should I put a hyphen in between it? I'm not too sure. Should I just hmm. Okay, fruitful is spelled wrong. Let me see. Fruitful? Was it one L? Oh, it is one L. Okay. So I'm gonna put hyphen. No, no, no. Hyphen makes it look corny. For fruitful, for fruitful. There we go. Word of the day for it's actually a tongue twister. For fruitful, for fruitful, for fruitful, for fruitful, for fruitful, for fruitful. Yes. Be true in my word and be for fruitful. So watch the space. It's gonna get better. raunchy. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get cringe. There's so much more I wanted to do with this today's stream, but I'm on a time crunch of 1 hour, so that's why I just decided to yap along and hopefully mention stuff that may help along the way. That's why the title on my YouTube is hard to explain, but it may help. So if I were to explain how it will help, is that I would like to say that life is hard, and I hate how I'm such a bad person that I do not connect with my people because people have it worse than me, and that's low key why I don't connect. I'm very emotionally invested in it. That's why I'm so much of a parasocial, unlike Jakura, unlike Nick and Kachi, unlike any love story, any pairing that I think is like meant to be something special. And like even with my peeps and friends, like whenever they tell me stuff, like I'm always in the mood of like, okay, in the not mood, sounds weird, in the mindset of like, how do I fix it? And I don't like thinking like that because it doesn't make me be with it in a sense of like, I feel like everybody has problems and that you can't fix them all. But I'm like so much in the mindset of like, I have to fix everybody's problem. Not because I can, not because I have the ability to, but because of the empathetic nature in me. Like I'm just that invested into other people's lives. I don't know if this is something that can be explained or proven, but I think that with all the interactions I have with people, it's always about giving them the best experience. Not in terms of being friends with me, but showing that whatever they need, I can help them. Because I know that I'm not gonna call regularly, I'm not gonna contact them, or I'm not gonna check on them, which is what I hate the most about. But one thing I can make sure is that if you are in the vicinity or you are within the time of frame that we are connected, I give you my 100%. I give you my 110, which is weird and it's not something that I can explain. Hopefully, one day when all the people that have interacted with me and come across me can understand that it's not that you that I'm ignoring any of you. It's not that forgotten you. It's not that I don't care about you. It's just that I feel like I interact with so many people that I remember so many people, and that so many people I become invested in their lives. Because right now, anybody, like even yesterday, just to go on a tangent, I met one of my old schoolmates, Mr. A. I call him Mr. A. And I'm like, yo, instant warm conversation. Like it was so warm that you could honestly call it gay. Like that's how it was. Like that's how I genuinely feel. Like it's not even something I kind of prove it, but it's like I haven't spoken to that person in like maybe a year. Yeah, when we were doing the same course. One no 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. 2 years. Same doing the course. Yeah, yeah. Doing the course, and it was like wow, like and to to toot my own horn to show you how like that's how I am like we even like hey yo no we need to catch up. We need to catch up. Yes, sir. And in the same day yesterday, another one of my old groups. This one like from years back, like high school days. Like the connection was like it was like still there. Or maybe I'm just hyping up. Maybe it's because I'm a professional yapper. I don't know, but there was just like something magical. Like it is something like that's why I say it was so gay but no homo. Like we were like, like oh, let me say my fault because obviously I can't see him because he's like in another freaking province. But like it was like a giggling, like feet kicking kind of experience because like when you're so excited to see homie, like yeah. So he rocked up, he found my contact and stuff and like catch caught up with me like that. And it was all love. Like you could tell that yeah, we were really locked in. Because even today, like the bonds, the things that bonded us together in terms of interest and hobbies are still the stuff we do even now. That just shows you how wild, how invested I get into people's lives, and that's why it makes it hard for me to connect with people regularly. Because even if I were to show you my content, you'd see that generally most of these people is someone I can tell. Okay, I can say this is how I connect. This is how I sound so. What's the word? It sounds like I'm narcissistic or like pick me or something. It just feels weird explaining this, but I have to just put it out there. I just have to. Just so that one day that people can understand, or maybe, or even if they don't understand, but at least I can try to explain, and maybe it may help. Maybe it may help my actions so that when I make it big one day, they understand that this is what it was for. Because I sacrificed a lot, and it has come at the expense of me being stunted emotionally and maturity. So I don't know whether what I'm doing is wrong or right. All I can say is that it is working for me in a sense. And then I just hope that all the people who do know me, all the people who some way, some form interacted with me, even if it was just to say hi, if I mistreated you, I'm sorry. If I did bad on you, I'm sorry. If I didn't get back to you, I'm sorry. If I promised you dreams, I'm extra sorry because that's probably something I do a lot. I'm probably a professional dream saver. But if I did anything of the latter, I hope I did right. And collectively, I hope that one day that your life can be fruitful, and if not, that I be fruitful enough so that I can come back in the block, just so that I can make it up. Like that's actually my ultimate goal in life because I'm such an overthinker that I feel like all the times I've done bad is like I have to like if I make it one day that I have to make sure that all my peeps are good, from my family, from my friends, from from uh, the the peeps that have done right by me. Yes, and like I'm the type to remember a person who bought me coffee. I'm like, yeah, just because you bought me coffee, like you have to be spoiled. Like you can even call me a trick for that, but it's just the little things. Like it's just the little things. I'm like so awkward that it's like just that can get me emotional. Because I remember even at work, there was the lady who just like randomly bought me lunch, like randomly. No, no, hey, I'm hungry. No, you know what? Yo, that was like wow. Like, because I'm a grown ass man, I don't cry. But yo, tears were welling up. I can't tell you that. Like it doesn't mean anything because we are close friends. Like we look out for each other. But like to me, it meant a whole lot because it's not about like I was hungry. It's not about I could get I didn't have food or anything. But it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just it feels like I'm being loved. And obviously, you understand. And you might say, "Oh well, it was just probably leftovers or anything. Like even if it was just leftover, for me that means a lot more because it's like you don't have to like I relish in the idea that somebody was thinking of me without having to. That doesn't make sense, but it just it feels like some kind of way. Like I even have a hard time explaining it now, but it's just so overwhelming to know like, oh wait, this person was like, no, here you go. You probably would like this. You know what? I'm not gonna finish this, so here, have this. Like a lot of people won't like that because let me not say a lot of people, but some people won't like that because they'll be like, oh no, no, it's not necessarily carefree. It's like, oh, they just couldn't finish it. But it's like if you were to understand that not many people be like get an opportunity to have someone who's like, if I have excess of something, I'm gonna give it to this person. That all alone is an act that probably 10% of the humankind doesn't. Like just to have someone in your corner to say, no, you've got this is also a privilege that I never grew up with. I have my family say, no, yeah, go do this. I think you can do it. But it's totally different but from someone saying, no, you've got it. But I don't, I don't know if that makes sense, but like it is like totally different. It's totally different. Because when the fact when my aunt sees my report card and says no, I have the capability of doing one, two, three, she's going off of the stats of like, yeah, yeah, he can do this, he can do this, yeah, go do this. It's not the same as when, okay, one day she sees me like I like dancing. She's like, you know what? Let's go for dancing lessons. You're gonna be a dancer. Go for it. Yes, and it's not the same. Like, and then if I struggling with that, then she'll be like, you know what? It's not the same. It's not the same. It really isn't. The feeling from those two actions are like night and day. But anyway, I'm running out of time. I was just professionally yapping today, and I hope whoever was watching got something. If not, it's okay. I'm no one anyway. I'm just a regular folk hoping to make streaming something. And catch me tomorrow, streaming again, trying another platform, holding my audience. But I really appreciate all my followers. I really appreciate all my friends. I really appreciate my family. I really appreciate my employees. I really appreciate God because as much as I'm not very religious, God has been with me. And I should have actually started appreciating Him. Yeah, they're the ones, and Heavenly Mother, because they're the ones who look out. That's I can't believe I was yapping for a whole hour straight. That's very interesting. I never knew I could do that, honestly. Very interesting. Very, very. But reference that you were telling me about what's interesting is that that website always changes every time. One day it's .org, one day it's .online. But nonetheless, uh, all I can say is love and the peace. Actually, to round out the last 3 minutes, this is too early to close so that I can have that full hour. But wait, my YouTube says that I've only been streaming for 54 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, let me see, see if there's something that's going. But we at the end of it. Oh, my frames, my internet speed is but it was low key a smooth. Wait, I opened the wrong app, application. Yeah, but it was low key a smooth, a smooth. Yeah, I don't get it. Have I completely mastered the the optimization of my PC? Because it's loading a lot faster than I thought it would. I'm even connected on my phone on the same Wi-Fi. Connecting that. Let me go on. Let's start with Twitter. I want to see if there's any calm, any love, anything just to show that people are seeing my stuff. I doubt there is. Huh. Oh wow, got 5 views. This is the hot top. Um, hot, what is it? Hot topic where I said, yeah, Megas XLR is definitely better than the Legend of Korra. I was practically rage baiting, but nobody took the bait. But that's the new thing I'm doing now. I'm rage baiting cartoons every day to see uh, um, if there's gonna be someone who like engages. If not, it's okay. This is how bad it is. I only got 23 followers on freaking that's sad. And then let's look at the threads. Threads, I probably have the most followers on any social platform, but my engagement fell through, or should I say, plateaued. Ever since I stopped posting about basketball, my my engagement plateaued like nobody's business. I'm not getting anything. See? All it's showing me suggested nothing about my the last post that I did that I got something was this one. And this was just a comment on this. And I got two. And that was in 6 weeks ago. That's like a whole month ago. So ever since then, whatever I post does not appear. And I don't know why. For some reason, when I go to my account, it doesn't show. It's gonna say there's an error with it, and that the link is not available. I don't know what this is. I've been trying to get the, the X of the threads people to fix it. I don't know how to get them to fix it. They're not even responding to me. So I don't know. Because on my phone it appears up with no issues. Um, see, I can't even go to settings. Let me see. See, online statuses. See, you see my content. See, that's why I don't get because it says your content is not affected right now. My content is not affected. So the either is just my my algorithm is just bad right now because it's telling me that there's nothing. See, so I can use all features. So I don't get it. That's why I don't understand why I can't access my account. And nobody has explained to me why it's like that. So that's what I don't understand. Yeah. Um, Fediverse. What is a Fediverse? I've never heard of it. Probably has to do something with the metaverse, but I don't know what that is. Ah, let me see what it says exactly. See, it doesn't even show. mm, How do I add another? Right, this is very important. I can't access my profile page. Via- Now let me say on my browser. Let me say PC. Okay, should I go take a screenshot of it? I've been trying to get this fixed for almost months now, and it still hasn't been fixed. I don't even know if they even see my report to come back to me. The above link does not appear. Oh yeah, that was wow. Yeah, the above link when followed says or remove. There we go. screenshot. Maybe I don't need to create such a big screenshot. Okay, I have to save it first. Just create. Okay. Oh wait. There's an easier way to do it. Oh no, it's taking my whole screen. Let's do that. Uh, Save it. There we go. Great. Then we attach. Hello. Okay. There we go. Then submit again. Uh, then hopefully it will appear. So I really like to see it. Oh, and I've made it past an hour now. Close off my screen. But let me quickly round off. There. Maybe I should post like Twitch, create like better text Twitch, then YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Let's see who my new followers. Those that have four followers like can't see. Warriors can't even get much. One of these days I need to do a post just to get like great quality. I also need to take a picture. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you on the flip side. And again, love and the peace. Ah, we don't love.